Let me tell y'all, that amp is dope as a mother. I wired the subs up to 8 ohms, okay? Having them at 4 ohms each was but the amp kept clipping and the amp just didn't like it as much even when you accounted for impedance rise. So I put the subs to 8 ohms because the amp can do 300 watts per channel at 8 or 16 ohms. So I put it at 8, accounting for impedance rise that was going to blow above 16. Hell no, it's never going that low. I mean, that high, sorry. Um, and the subs were bumping. Now, I got something to confess. When I was bumping this yesterday, or the day before, whenever that was, I saw the magic smoke, okay? I saw the magic smoke from one of my boys down there. And let's just say we had to say bye-bye to one of those kickers. Now, only one of them is working right now, and it still tears the bit up. I ain't gonna lie to you, it still tears it up. But it's about time that we replace them. Now, if you remember in my original video, I said something to the effect of, listen, okay? So I was going to get a new box for my 210s. It was going to be a ported box. And then I was going to get a ported box for the 212s and put the 212s in it. Now that I only have 110, I'm just going to retire it. The kicker, I'm going to set that aside. That one can breathe and sleep in peace. Let me tell you what I'm looking at right now and what's going to be on the boat to my island once I get paid. MTX Terminator TNE212DV. These bad boys right here. This is what I got my eye on right now. These two beasts right here. This is a vented box from MTX, and let me tell you, originally what my plan was I was going to get some of those kickers, not those kickers, those SCAR subs like the SDR or maybe the IX again. I was going to put them in a ported box just like I was going to do, but I wouldn't have gotten a good deal on it. And then I was like, let me try and find them used. No one ever wants to buy used subwoofers. It's a horrible idea because you never know if they blew it up or not, like what I did to my kicker. So I said, listen. Let me see what good deals they have on prefabs. I went on eBay, found a prefab MTX. I rock with MTX a lot. MTX Terminator, dual 12 subwoofer, vented box. I could not find a lick of information as to what this thing is tuned to, but all I know is that it's vented, and that's what I'm looking for. $150. That's a better deal than I would have gotten. Actually, matter of fact, I would have spent exactly about the same money if I were to get a cheap Q box and two IX 12s. Now, these subwoofers are wired to 2 ohms. If I go to my Google Drive or whatever, and I look up my subwoofer coil wiring, I can tell you right now that 2 dual voice coil 4 ohm subs can only be wired to what you can see is 1 ohm, 2 ohm, or 4 ohm. Now, this 2 ohm wiring is not really reasonable because that's only per 1 voice coil, which means you're actually only going to be using 2 of your 4 supplied voice coils, 1 voice coil per subwoofer. You're not supposed to be doing that, all right? So my assumption is that those are 2 ohm subwoofers, dual voice coil 2 ohm subwoofers, and they are wired in series parallel so that they can replicate the 2 ohms. Now, what I'm thinking is what I could do is maybe wire that sub up to 4 ohms if I were to put the voice coil in series, put both of them in series and run them on 2 separate channels, and I'll have 2 4 ohm subwoofers. That's what sounds like the plan right now. It's just that my worry is the fact that I already saw how that amp performed and I was trying to run my kickers at 4 ohms, and I don't know if that would be a good idea, but I'm willing to risk it. I'm willing to risk it. So that's what we're looking at. That is what we're looking at right now, buddy. The replacement for the 210s. So now I'm gonna have 4 12s in here, 2 MTXs and 2 SCARs. I'm really excited for the MTXs. I'm gonna buy them as soon as I can afford them, period, the end. I can't afford them right now technically based on how much money's in my account, but I also like to keep saving, and I want to make sure that I always have like savings, period, the end. Sorry, I don't know why I was struggling to find that word, but I always want to make sure I have reserve. So I'm not gonna just bite the bullet and buy it ASAP because it's not a necessity. But yeah, that's, I think I might not be too bright. But I just realized something. If I wire the subs in series, I might be able to pull that off. If I wire both of the DVC 2 ohm subs to 4 ohms, and then I put them in series to the amplifier, I should have a final impedance of 8 ohms. Now, sometimes when I second guess myself, I'm wrong, and I end up looking stupider than I thought I looked when I said the right thing. But we'll see what happens. I'm still getting them. We're going to see what happens, which means either I'll run them in 8 ohm bridged, or I'll run them 2 separate in 4 ohms. But whatever the case is, I already made my decision, buddy. I need that MTX enclosure right now. Dog, I went to look up to see if I was making sense, and I found 2 answers. First, I went to ChatGPT. What the hell? Nigga, that's the shit Thomas Edison was doing when he invented the light. This is making sense. Yo, dog, I want to start this off by apologizing to anyone who watched that last video and had to sit through that nonsense. I don't know what crack smoking demon possessed my brain to say I was going to replace all those speakers with coaxials. But let me give you a short story. I believe I gaslit myself into thinking I wanted to replace those with coaxial speakers. Do you know why? Because Nakamichi was having a sale. Okay? Let me tell you. Not even components. Coaxials. 5 1/4 coaxials. How did I finally come to realization? I was taking my center channel off the wall. And when I opened the face of it, I looked at the speakers inside. And when I say baby got back, those magnets were heavy. Those magnets were thick. And then I thought about the coaxials and I said, hell no. Okay. And then I had this moment of realization. I was just like, where was I going with that idea? Anyways, I'm here to atone for my sins and apologize and let everyone know that yesterday I ordered a new toy. Quintet 3s. Now, as you know, I have a set of Quintet 2s right now. And the 2s to the 3s was probably the greatest jump in quality, not only with the horns, but also with the mid-woofers. These guys have a better frequency response, and they're also not rotting in the cones. Look at the quality. So anyway, these guys are what I decided to order yesterday night impulsively. And let me find the seller. He's an amazing seller. I haven't looked at the other stuff he sells. Oh, he sells everything. Anyway, this seller is absolutely amazing though, because check this out, bro. This is not about an item. Continue. This guy, so respectful. No one ever talks to me on eBay. Ever. And this guy, on the other hand, yeah, come on. There was no need for him to go through all of this. He could have just sent this to me. Thanks. That's okay. I appreciate you checking in first. It's fine to send out like that. I'm satisfied as long as they're working. Like, come on, bro. This guy, you don't get thoughtful people like that anymore. But anyway, that's my new toy. Additionally, with that, I also got some speaker cable because it was a good deal from Raptor. And yeah, now I'm just waiting for all my stuff to come in